So all my life, I have been a rebel. So whenever someone told me that I can't do something, my response was, oh yeah, watch. One afternoon, I was shopping with my mother, and I'm in the dressing room, and she's sitting out on the bench, just outside the dressing room. And I found this really beautiful top, and it came in 4 different colors. So I'm in the dressing room, and I'm looking at this beautiful, like gold like the sun, this beautiful teal, this beautiful purple, this beautiful like emerald green. And I'm looking at all 4 of these, and I'm wondering, what would be the best color? And my mom says to me, well, you can't buy them all. And I went, dook, 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 dook. Watch me. The reason I say this, and I want to say one other thing. Years ago, I was with a media person, and she said to me, well, you know what? Women can't have it all. You know what my response was? I wrote a New York Times best-selling book called The Art of Having It All. Watch me. And I have it all in my life, as I define it, as I want it. Because for me, there's nothing worse in the whole entire world than being limited or being in lack. Because that is not the truth of who we are. It's not our true nature. So many years ago, around 600 years ago, there was a belief that the world was flat. People actually thought that if you went to the edge, you would fall off. When Nicholas Copernicus, thank you, discovered that the world was actually round, it completely changed the paradigm of how human beings live their lives. And I just guess, knowing human beings, that back then there were still people that said, nope, the world is flat. And they refused to change their paradigm. Well, I'm going to share with you 3 of these old world views that is high time that we change these paradigms. Because we are not limited beings. We are connected to an abundant universe, and we are connected to something so abundant within us. So the first of these is that we are not a third-dimensional being. We are, but we are so much more than that. Consider for just a moment, no matter what age you are, from the time that your little seed was planted into the family that you were born in, that you were raised in that environment, you were raised with all the energy, you were raised with all the beliefs, what was said, what was not said, every condition that you were grown up in, every time you had a heartbreak, every time you fell in love, every time you had disappointment, every time you had triumph, everything that has led you to be in this moment right now that makes you unique and different, that has created your persona, that's only 4% of who you really are. The 96% is the non-physical, the divine, the soul, the higher self that breathes through you each moment of every day, that looks out through your eyes. You wouldn't be here if you didn't have this divine in you. You are more multidimensional than you are this dimension. And in this dimension, it is finite. There are things that are limited. But we don't have to be limited by the conditions in our life. We, as this multidimensional being that has the creator that has created worlds literally flowing, coursing through our veins, we can be more powerful than any circumstance. If you're having trouble with money, don't let money master you. You master money. But when we're coming from our 3D perspective, that we think that everything that we can see and touch and smell and taste, that all that's real, there's so much more. You are bigger than that. So that is the first old world paradigm that we have to shift. Start knowing yourself as a multidimensional being. And the last time I checked, the divine, the creator of that, has created everything, that is the giver of any idea. If you've ever created a business, if you ever created a program, if you've ever had an idea to do anything, it didn't come from the personality you. It was given to you by the divine. It is then us as the personality based on where we were planted and all that stuff, as we sit here and receive that idea, do we go, ooh, I love that. Yes, it's possible, and I'm moving into that. Or do we stand and go, oh, but I can't. I don't know how. How would I do that? Who am I to do that? I'm not enough. It's your choice. And that's the second old world paradigm that has to shift, is that we actually have superpowers. Each one of us. It's not something that's sitting on a cloud that has all the power and that gets to go, oh, I'm going to endow you with just a lovely life. You, not so much. Our power is not outside of ourselves because we actually get to choose. We've been given the power of choice. The power to choose our thoughts, the power to choose our perspective, the power to choose our emotions. We've been given that choice as a human being. And our choices, when we deliberately choose how we want to feel, what we want to create, what our experience is going to be, how we want to perceive something, creates our reality. Everything in this universe is vibration and energy. Einstein said it. Quantum physics has proven it now. Everything, whether the chair you're sitting on, the stage I'm standing on, my actually physical body, everything is made up of energy. Go within yourself for a moment. You don't have to close your eyes, but just feel the energy pulsating through your body. You might feel your heartbeat. You might feel your pulse. It's all energy. And all energy carries a vibration that goes out into the universe and is met by other situations, circumstances, events, people that match that same frequency. And your superpower is that you get to choose that vibration. Nobody chooses it for you. So the third old world paradigm that we must absolutely shift, because you know what? The world is not flat. The world is round, and it completely changes the way you will live your life, is that lack and limitation are not real. Yes, they're real in the 4% world, in the 3D world. But abundance is our nature. You can look at nature to see that there's an abundance of rain when it rains. There's an abundance of sunshine. There's abundance of leaves on a tree. There's abundance of blades of grass. There's abundance of waves in the ocean. There is an abundance of the divine flowing through you in this very moment. There's abundance of choices that you have. When we are stuck in lack and limitation, we look at the problem and we can't see the solution. There is at least 9 options for every given situation. When you start looking at, okay, I'm going to look for what the solution is. What are my options? Because I live in an abundant universe. I'm a multidimensional being. I choose my own thoughts. Lack and limitation is a lie. It's something that seed that you're planted in and all your life experience has led you to this point now. If you start to know yourself as a multidimensional being and truly pay attention to the thoughts that you think and how those thoughts create the emotions, you can look at your life to see, do I believe in lack? Do I have a lack of money? Am I worried about how many clients are coming in? Am I worried that there's not enough love or that there's all the good ones are taken? When you're in a space of abundance, anything is possible. There's an abundance of everything to go around. When you find yourself in that limitation, when you find yourself in lack, it's because it's not a problem with money, it's a thinking problem. It's an energetic problem. It's a problem of thinking that this condition, not having enough money, not having the love of your life, not having enough business success, whatever you consider this condition to be, you're allowing that thing to master you instead of you mastering it. So when you start to know yourself as a multidimensional being with your superpowers, knowing that with the law of polarity, if there's lack, there is also abundance. And you know that. And whenever conditions show up and you find that discontent in your life or you find that longing for something more, know that it's the divine giving you that desire to move forward and through. And when you connect with that part of you and know that you can choose those thoughts and that you choose to be on this side of the pole of abundance rather than lack, your life will never be the same again. It will be absolutely unrecognizable. Now, there's lots of people that probably still believed that the world was flat. But a lot of other lives changed, and all of our ancestors, their lives were changed because we now know a different paradigm. So I invite you to start playing with that and to start knowing yourself to who you truly are, not coming from the 4% that has been conditioned to lead you to this moment, but that whole 100%, the divine pulsating through you, a unique expression, never to be the same, never to look the same, never to have the same life experiences. You are so unique and different than all the billions of people that are currently breathing right now on this planet. And all those that came before us, all of our ancestors, and all those that will come again. Because there's no story that's the same. You all have the ability to have everything you want in your life. I believe we can all have it all. Thank you very much.